Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skibowski of RE/MAX Lakes, and welcome to the show.
Here we are. Good morning.
Yes, here we are, and I think it's about time we do a market update.
Yeah, we've finally closed out the month of July.
Yeah.
I think, which was a very, 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 very busy month.
Mm-hmm.
The month of July was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We're up significantly year over year. I mean, and it brought numbers today to talk about that. And again, on the radio, it's hard because we don't have charts we can throw up there and here, follow me along with this. So hang in there with us as we talk these numbers. So, I think if you remember at the end of June, we were down as far as the whole county was down year over year.
Right.
Well, guess what? July, it caught up. So
Okay.
it made up the entire year of being behind. The month of July, it brought us back to even, comparatively year over year.
Okay.
So essentially, the number of units sold in 19 was 656 from January 1st through the end of July of 19. Through July 31st of 2020, there were 653 units sold. So essentially a dead tie.
Yeah.
It's almost the same.
And we talked about like the lakes market.
Yeah.
Was a little bit behind because we lost a couple of months
Right,
there, between
right.
like March and April.
And that lake market, I think we're being impacted by people who aren't taking vacations out of the country.
Sure.
Who, due to everything being shut down, you can't go to Europe, you can't go do the traditional summer vacation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not everybody goes to Europe, but a lot of people do. I mean, they fly out of the country for vacations in the summertime. That's when their shutdowns are for their plants. That's when they get vacation time. So they go places in the summer. What we've seen is more lake sales because I think people have decided rather than spend the money on going elsewhere, let's do something that's closer to home.
Right.
And a little bit safer, especially in this new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Something you can control, something you can drive to. Airlines were essentially shut down flying out of the country. A lot of countries wouldn't allow U.S. citizens to travel in there out of the United States. Well, you can't control me driving from, Indianapolis to the Barbie Chain of Lakes.
Right.
Right? So we've seen a lot more activity on the lakes. And when I say activity, it's lookers and buyers, and ultimately sales.
I mean, I've heard everything that is recreational, like RVs, boating, fishing, all that stuff is up. It's like way up because that is something that you could do with your family because more people are spending time just with their family and not going to gatherings and parties and things like that. It's just they're spending more family time together. So it makes sense.
Absolutely. It's all of the above. All of those things, I think, along with, interest rates are great. If you've got to finance, interest rates are fantastic, even on second homes, which, second homes, the interest rate's usually a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. But when the standard 30-year mortgage is hovering at 3%, if you're getting 3.5% on a second home, that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, money is cheap right now.
Money is inexpensive at this point, absolutely. So the number of units sold in the county year over year, almost dead even. However, the volume sold is up 20%. Year over year. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
Higher priced homes than last year are selling by 20% increase as far as volume sold.
Wow.
The average sales price, and this goes right along with it, up 21% year over year. So, you're buying homes, yes, the volume is equal, or I'm sorry, the number is equal, volume is higher, price is higher. And this was a significant stat that jumped out at me. The amount of inventory is down 11% year over year. The number of active listings is down 11%. And that goes back to Professor Skibowski's supply-demand chart, right?
Yeah, right.
When supply is low, price goes up. And we've got high demand, that price is going up when there's high demand. So all of those numbers follow along with what you would expect to see in a seller's market.
Well, so to me, it seems like builders would just be salivating to buy lots and build new properties.
And conventional wisdom would say that, and we had, prior to the pandemic start, in the spring of the year, we started seeing builders building more homes last year. New construction starts in the county were up. Warsaw put the TIF district in, which I don't know what impact that's had yet. But there were more new homes going on the market. Just drive around. I mean, you don't listen to me on the radio, just drive around.
Yeah, you
see there's new construction happening.
Right.
The problem is there's not enough new construction to support the demand that's out there right now.
Okay.
Along with the cost of materials, it's increased significantly. The availability of those materials have dropped dramatically. You know, think toilet paper, right? When COVID started, you couldn't buy toilet paper, you couldn't buy paper towels. There's a run on all of that stuff. Well, for whatever reason, lumber, you know, the availability of building materials have dropped. So price on those building materials went up. So if you're going to build a new home, the cost is going to be higher than it would have been previously. We've got a guy that does repair work for us. He also does some construction. He was putting a deck on for somebody, and he had to actually go to Ohio to get womanized lumber to build the deck because there was none available here. Now, I'm not saying every piece of lumber. I mean, you can find lumber, but in the quantity necessary to build a house, if you're building a lot of houses, it's just more difficult to come by.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, it seems like and I could be wrong about this, but it seems like stores still don't, or they're not fully stocked. It seems like, I mean, it looks like they're coming back, but it's not like they're fully stocked with everything that they need.
No, they're not, and I would agree with that. I mean, I go into Owens here in Warsaw, and you know, there's still empty slots on the shelf, which you know, in February those shelves were full. I don't know the hows and whys. I don't know the inventory process, the logistics of getting them there, how quickly they order, how frequently they get deliveries. You know, I'm back to my prior life in manufacturing, working on all of that stuff. But I don't have to worry about that when it comes to real estate. All I worry about is the inventory that's available now, and there's not a lot.
Okay.
So
yeah, all right, very good. We're going to talk more about this coming up next. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skibowski of Remax Lakes, and we're doing a market update. We talked about the county overall, but we should probably talk about just Warsaw proper.
Yeah, so the Warsaw proper, the zip code, we always talk about 46580, and the reason for that is hopefully we pulled some of the lakes out. Granted, we do have Pike Lake, Center Lake, Winona Lake in that zip code, but the number of homes that are sold there don't really impact our numbers unless there's a really biggie that sells, and it doesn't look like that's been the case. So, you know, throughout this year, the Warsaw market has been extremely hot. It is, you know, it led the county as far as sales go year over year when you compare 2020 to 2019. The good news is we're still ahead by about 10% year over year for homes sold in the Warsaw proper, that 46580 zip code. But if you look at where we were at in June, it was actually 15% ahead. So it pulled back a little bit, still better than 2019, but it cooled off a little bit. And why is that? I don't know. I'm going to say it's inventory.
Probably,
the number of homes that are available,
right?
You know, have slowed down, or there's not as many. So the bad part for consumers is that the average sales price went up 12% year over year. From 20 to 19 in that 46580 zip code.
But that's supply and demand that you were talking about.
Supply and demand, it definitely is. So, you know, looking at the traditional, so a 3-bedroom home through the month of July, the average sales price was $169,000. So $169,350 is the average sales price of a home sold in 46580. And the days on market is 33 days.
That's amazing.
So the average list to sale price is 99%. So 1% off of list price. We've been singing this song for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, days on market hovering around 30 days. Average list to sale price 99%.
Yeah.
So that definitely, again, as we talked just in the before we took the break, it's still a seller's market. So buyers, don't think you're going to come in and use Grandpa's method of, I'm going to knock 20% off and the seller's going to look at me seriously on this offer.
It's not going to happen.
It is not going to happen. You know, so, and that's not being negative Nelly. You know, it's trying to get that message out. If you are a buyer, there's a lot of things that we can do to help you win when it comes to a multiple offer situation. And there are a lot of them. And the indication of 1% off a list price, 33 days on the market, you know, there's there's stuff selling very quickly. You definitely need to be ready. And that's our constant theme, right? You and I talk about that almost every week. Be ready, be ready, be ready.
Yeah.
It's not the time to say, well, let me go look and, I'll wait on getting my pre-approval.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
No,
and
you can't right now.
You look at a house. The house that you're thinking about, somebody looked at yesterday, right? And they were thinking about it. And that's not me being a salesperson. That's me being, hey, if you want to purchase, you've got to be ready to move. I mean, it's the bottom line. It isn't, you may think, hey, I'm going to buy in 6 months. The houses you're looking at today are not going to be available in 6 months. Don't waste your time going out and looking at those houses. You can do a lot of online searches. I would say connect with an agent and be in touch with that agent and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Can you help me find it? Because they're moving so darn fast. That's what I would recommend, to a buyer. So on the market, the numbers for the market are a definite indication of that. Things that are coming on. There was a house that listed in Warsaw on Ranch Road at $140,000. It hit the market. There were multiple offers. I did write one. I went for a buyer as much as they were willing to go. We went $13,000 over list price and did not win that battle.
Wow.
Now that was the most she could do.
Yeah.
We would have went higher if she could, but she couldn't. That's what her pre-approval was. She liked the house, but that's where she was. And I guess that leads to put your best foot forward. Don't write an offer and expect to counter if you're a buyer in this kind of market. You need to put your best foot forward. With those multiple offer situations that are out there, don't get crazy and go way too high. Work with your agent, do a market analysis. Obviously, there are not any deals out there. There are no bargains to be had.
No.
If you're going to buy right now, you need to be prepared and write the best offer that you can write out of the gate. So if you don't win that multiple offer situation, you can walk away knowing that you put your best foot forward and you did all you could to get it, if you really want that house.
Yeah.
It's not play the negotiation game because it's just not available.
No, it's just not there because they've got other offers that are coming in at that very same time, and chances are they're going to be good offers.
They're going to be good offers. People, I think, are getting the message that you need to be pre-approved in order to buy, and they are writing offers that are extremely competitive. Extremely competitive. So buyers, if you're thinking about buying today, you got to be prepared. Get that pre-approval in advance, because the 3 days it takes to get a pre-approval used to take an hour. Everybody's backed up. The underwriters for the lenders are backed up.
Right.
So be prepared, have that pre-approval in hand, write your best offer first, and work with an agent. That's the way you're going to get into those properties.
Are closings being backed up as well?
Closings are being slowed down due to appraisal times. The appraisers are jammed up with refinances.
Okay.
So, prepare for some delays. That's all I can say.
Interesting market, and it continues.
It continues, absolutely.
Hey, Mark, your contact information?
Sure. Website's lakes-realtors.com. Our phone number is 574-834-1233. I do upload the show. We do tape it. We upload it to YouTube, so you can go out there and search for it and find it if you want to see it at some point.
All right. Very good. Check it out. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.